Hi, folks. So I'm going to give a really brief lecture on Title IX, kind of what Title IX is, how it might apply to you, you should be aware about when it comes to Title IX things. So you might ask, what are these Title IX things? So Title IX is, the short term people use to refer to Title IX of the Education Amendments Act of 1972, which is actually an amendment to the Civil Rights Act of 1964, I believe. And so just to read to you what it says, and so it's, Education Amendments Act, it's about protecting people's civil rights in, education. And so here's what it says. No person in the United States shall, on the basis of sex, be excluded from participation in, be denied the benefits of, or be subjected to discrimination under any education program or activity receiving federal financial assistance, and so on and so forth. And so essentially you can't be discriminated against based on your sex. And it goes into other details there, which I won't get into. But I'm going to give you the highlights. And there'll also be a handout that covers all this information posted on Moodle. Okay, so Title IX and Trocaire, what does it matter? What does it mean to you? So, Title IX is just a way your rights are protected. And so there are two kind of things that are applicable to you. You're protected against any kind of sexual discrimination, sexual harassment, sexual violence, domestic violence, dating violence, and stalking. So you are legally protected against those things. The school cannot allow those things to happen to you in your role as a Trocaire student. And it also protects pregnancy and student parents as well. And again, you can't be discriminated against because you're pregnant or a parent in your role as a Trocaire student. So Title IX and sexual misconduct and sexual harassment. Title IX provides guidelines for Title IX claims to be received, guidance on investigations, and make sure that all parties receive responses. This is a very serious legal matter. If any Title IX issues come up, you should definitely get in touch with people. I'm going to tell you which people to get in touch with. People are going to take it very seriously. This is very serious business, which is why we're taking the time to talk about it this week. Title IX protects you as a student and provides links to college and community partners. And in the Health and Wellness Center website, you'll find a long list of these partners and resources that are available to you. If this should apply to you in your time here. Title IX and pregnancy or parents. So Title IX provides assistance to pregnant or student parents. Any student who should need assistance should help provide documentation to the Title IX coordinator. If you will have time away from school or require any accommodation, if you're pregnant or a student parent. So if you're pregnant or if you're a student parent and it's going to get in the way of your schooling, you want to document it with the school, with the Title IX coordinator specifically. And here you see the people you would get in touch with. Tracy Rosewitz, and I apologize if I got her name wrong. She's the Title IX coordinator. So as I've told you, in the context of this class, it's really important that if something is coming up in your life, it's making it hard for you to continue with your studies, it's really important that you communicate with people, okay? Whether it's your professor, whether it's your advisor, or in this instance, the Title IX coordinator. You got to communicate with us. And the reason why it's so important you communicate with us is because there are resources and there are accommodations available to you, and we want to help you, And so, but if we don't know what problem you're having, there's nothing we can do, right? So if you have a Title IX concern, Tracy Rosewitz is Title IX coordinator. Another important thing to mention is the confidential resource on campus is Genevieve Crulley, who is also director of the Wellness Center. And it's important to kind of tell you what this means, confidential resource, because when it comes to these Title IX claims and these Title IX issues, everybody's required to report them to the Title IX coordinator as soon as they become aware of them. I actually had one of these come up before. A student informed me that she was victim of a sexual assault, and so it was my job, it was my legal obligation to pass that information to the Title IX coordinator and to direct that student to the Title IX coordinator and to direct that student to the resources available to her. And so I didn't have a choice. I couldn't be confidential, even if I wanted to be, even if she asked me to be. I couldn't have been confidential. So if you want to keep your issue confidential, you've got to talk to Genevieve Cruelly first, and then she will guide you on what the next steps you might want to take are. So that's an important thing to know, because if you tell a professor about one of these things, then they're obligated by law to go talk to Tracy and tell her what you said to your professor. And then you've got Jennifer Elliott, who's a program coordinator for the Office of Violence Against Women's grant, which you'll find more information about that on the Health and Wellness webpage. Okay, and so just to take a quick look at the handout, I'm not going to beat the dead horse. And so the first page just goes through everything I just said, and one important thing is you've got Jennifer, Tracy, and Genevieve's, their offices there. Should have some contact information probably. I'm sure you'll be able to find their contact information on Trocaire's website. But then you've got this fact sheet here, just a nice little simple chart here, and it kind of tells you the details, the definitions. Yeah, and so essentially, your rights are protected. Obviously, it's against the law for the school to allow you to be discriminated against, and any kind of sexual harassment, sexual violence is definitely a form of discrimination that stands in between you and your education. If you're pregnant or you're a mother, you're entitled to certain accommodations so that you can continue your studies and also to take care of your family life and your personal health issues. So the key takeaway is, if any of these things should come up for you, here's Tracy's contact information down here if you want more information. Yeah, if any of these things should come up, please get in touch. Get in touch with the Health and Wellness Center. And again, if you want it to be confidential, you would want to get in touch with Genevieve Cruelly, and she can keep it confidential for you for starters. So I think that's about it. Everything else is kind of outlined on that handout, so I won't go over that again. If you have any questions about this, please let me know, or probably it might be better if you reached out to Tracy, because she would be more informed than I am about Title IX. So I'll cut it there. Thank you.